Hey Steve, I got Optimus Prime riding G1 Grimlock. Top that.
Oh yeah, I'll raise your Optimus and Grimlock, and I give you Duke Nukem riding Slug. Hail to the king, baby.
Is that my crown?
No. Hey guys, welcome back to Super Unimportant Reviews. My name's Steve, and today we'll be going over the Hasbro Transformers Age of Extinction Generation Deluxe Dinobot Slug. Man, they need to shorten these things down. But this is the Toys R Us exclusive version that comes with Dinobot Slug, which I think it's weird that they actually changed his name from Slag to Slug, but I understand that Slag's a derogatory term, so I understand. It's just a little off for me. But for the actual character, I'm really glad that they brought back him anyways, because other than Grimlock, I'm pretty sure he's the only other Dinobot that was actually from the G1 series. And I always liked Slug from the original G1 series, just because he always seemed like he was the most angriest of the Dinobots, and I always just really enjoyed him. And he just seemed like he always just needed more hugs in his life. So for his packaging, I really love the Transformer logo here because it's nice and clear, and they use the white of the back of the packaging kind of give that illusion of there's like a border here, which is really cool. And then the package up here is kind of reminiscent of the G1s with the new concept image of Slug. And for the side, you get a nice G1 image of him right here, which I think is a really awesome touch that they do with these packagings for the exclusives. And then he's a Dinobot Commando. Then for the back of the packaging, he just transforms in 16 steps, while the little guy transforms in 4 steps, which I'm hoping he's actually a little bit better than what we got with Straight, because Swoop was kind of poopy, and I'm hoping he's a little better. And then also for the back of these packagings, I really like that they have the old G1 images compared next to the new movie versions, which is really nice, and it's a little bit different than what we get with the movie figures. So I really love that they do that just to give these things a little bit more of a distinct look. And no dad, still sad. And that's pretty much it. Let's get him open up out of his plastic prison. Oh god, it saddens me to do this.
Do it, Steve. No.
Alright, so first we're going to go over his accessories, which he has 2 of these swords, which they're made out of this soft rubber, which is nice because you don't have to worry about these breaking or kids getting randomly hurt on them, so that's really nice. And overall, like they're pretty cool. Nothing too fancy about them. They just got like 4 blades on them. So they're a little bit of a different look. And then where they store on here is really weird because they got these holes on the side. So what you're supposed to do is you stick them in there. Which on my figure, it's not really firmly secure in there, which is kind of sad. So they just kind of sit out, which is kind of an ugly look for this guy. It actually reminds me of, what's that anime? Zoids? With the Liger Zero, where he's just like charging her, he's like, doing his finishing move.
Zoids?
Absolutely nothing.
Damn right. I got one somewhere at my house.
But overall, it's just, it's there for storage. It's not the way I'm going to be storing it. And then, get out your swords. And then for the little Slag, I don't think he actually turned out all that bad. He's got a nice little G1 color vibe going on with him. And overall, it's there. It's small. It's cool. But once you're here for the big one, Mr. Slug, overall, like I really love how the crust came off on here. And again, like all these guys have this like exoskeleton kind of look going on to them, and especially on him, it actually looks really sweet. And he actually has the really good, nice eyes going on here as well, where it's really hard for it to show off on the camera, but it has the optic look on the inside. So it's nice that they have that, because so far the only one that didn't have that was Scorn. So I'm glad that they went with it on this. My only real thing is his eyes actually kind of seem a little low to me. I don't know if that's just the way they designed it or something, but I would think they'd be up a little higher than they are, so that throws me off a little bit. I just like how the mouth is here with the horns coming off on the bottom. And I know he's not really officially a Triceratops, but that's just what I'm going to call him for with this. And then he's got these little wigs here. And then for his tail here, it's also made out of this soft rubber. I actually really like the spikes and stuff coming across this. Like, I think it looks nice. And overall, like he's kind of got like this stumpy little look to him, like with his legs back here. They're really, really thick, I want to say. But it still works pretty well for me in this form. And I really, really love the coloring on here. Because again, like on all of them, they have like, they're not really colored like they would be in this movie. But they're a lot brighter colors, and he's purple with this nice like red crimson color. And it gives them a little bit of a difference between all the other guys in terms of color, because none of them have been the same. So I really do love that. So when you have them sitting on the shelf, they all show off very nicely. So overall in this Triceratops form, I actually think it turned out really nice. I'm actually really excited to see how this guy looks in robot form now. So let's get to it. For a quick comparison, here's AOE Slug compared next to G1 Slag. And here's Slug compared next to Scorn, Grimlock, and Strafe, which I really love how this looks. Alright, first, Slag and Slug in robot form. We're going to start with Slag, which... we're not starting with Slag. I actually think in terms of design, he actually looks really nice. Because I really love how the heads kind of come off, just like on Grimlock's there. And he has this really cool, like, jousting kind of helmet going on here. And again, it's kind of like something like you see in, like, Dark Souls and those old, like, fantasy movies. So I really love the look of that. And he's got these giant beefy arms here. And there's his Autobot logo, which is still wish it was a Dinobot logo, but I digress. And then you can see where the legs kind of hang off here, which I don't think is really that bad of a look, because it kind of gives them like that kind of like armor skirting kind of look. So it's neat. And then for his leg here, again, we have the elf boots. He's gonna go save Hyrule. But and then for the back here, it's not much, like, he doesn't have a whole lot of hanging coming off him, which is nice, because the tail here kind of is a little reminiscent of like again, like the kind of like protective skirting and stuff like you see on some like the old like Japanese armors and stuff like that. So it's really neat. I like how like the leg armor that was on the Triceratops form kind of looks like little wings. It's a neat look. So overall, I actually think he turned out pretty nice. And then if you put his swords in, he actually has this really cool look to him. Kind of gives out, it's kind of like Strafe where he has those like double swords there. But I like the way his swords turned out overall. So in robot form, he actually looks like he's pretty imposing. And then getting this out here, because the one thing I'm not as big of a fan of this guy right now is his articulation's a little bit lackluster. Because for his head here, it's on a ball joint, so you can look a little bit up, but not a whole lot. And then he looks down, left and right a bit, but a lot of it's hindered because of the plastic here. And then for his arms, which I started to notice, if you gotta play a lot with this to get him to move, because his arms are on a ball joint, but because of the heads here, they're a little bit hindered, which is a little bit of a bummer. And then he has a rotation here at the bicep. He's got a bend at the elbow. Nothing really here at the hands except for like the pivot for the transformation. And then down here, if you move these legs up a bit, you get a lot more of the waist movement here. And then for his legs, they're on a ball joint, so they actually got a pretty good range of motion there. If you mess with the skirt, you can get it to move farther back. And then he has a rotation here at the thigh, a bend at the knee, and then a little bit of pivot at the foot, but that's just for the transformation. So you get that thing crazy high, like he's getting ready to run or something. So he still has a decent amount of posability. It's just like mainly up here at the shoulders, it's a little bit hard, especially when you want to try to move these Triceratops heads. They seem the frills kind of bump into each other. So for articulation, it's not the best I've seen out of the AOE figures, but it's not bad by any means necessarily. I still think he turned out pretty good with that overall. Aaron, you want to help me transform these guys?
No.
Come on, come on, you got this. So here's for a quick comparison is the entire gain so far with Grimlock, Slug, Strafe, and Scorn. And here's AOE Slug compared next to G1 Slug. So overall with Slug, I actually really do like this toy as well. So far with all the rest of the AOE figures, I haven't really been disappointed with any of them. Even though he's like not really my favorite, I still think he's really good. His his Triceratops form looks really well. And then his robot form still aesthetically looks amazing, even though the articulation isn't quite the best it could be, but still fine. And I still would really recommend picking him up, especially if you're really into the Dinobots or the Movieverse figures. I think he's a good buy. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like Slug? Are you guys excited about the new movie? Or do you guys just like the G1 version Slug better? Please let us know in the comments. If you want to see closer pictures of them, we'll have a link to our Facebook page in the description below. If you like this and want to see more stuff like this, please give us a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye-bye.